Hi everyone, welcome back to Be Rich. There are some interesting things happening in the land of the rising sun. Things are finally settling down and they seem to be having a new prime minister. That and the market almost broke or almost touched the barrier. So it's a huge barrier for Japan, that is. And all what's been happening in the last 45, 50 years in Japan is a culmination of this. So I thought I'll talk this with Anand and we'll see how to unpack this as value investors and how we should see this. So Anand, some great news in the land of the rising sun.
I don't know from how you would see it. Like for a stock picker, it is stock picker's paradise.
Yes.
I felt that it's one of those calls that has gone right for me. So Japan as such has done extremely well for me. And if had somebody told me when I was 25 that I would own Sony and I would own the most of my Japanese icons, I would have.
Yes.
So
The
I'm a
Nintendo
shareholder in
piece.
Mitsubishi,
Yeah.
Mitsui, Itachi, Marubeni. These are big names.
Yes.
At least
Historic names.
for me as a child, these are big names. That I would be a shareholder, I would have taken it with a backup, sir. But I would have made a double bagger, triple bagger on that. I don't know. This is really, I'm touched. But what is happening in Japan may not be good for Japan and the world. There is an iron lady who's taken over. She is a follower of Shinzo Abe, and she is also to the right of center, deep to the right of center, very conservative,
I would say
and
more to the right than center.
very right to the center. There is an anti-immigration movement coming up in Japan, which is very dangerous because Japan needs a lot of migration, and the Japanese are very friendly people. But this LDP has broken with its traditional ally and gone with a far right party, Ishin. And in spite of that, she is short of the majority by two.
Yes.
So it's actually a coalition government,
A very
very
fragile government.
fragile government, which can fall anytime. But the LDP has gone with it, and it is very unlike Japan. So this is what it is. The Japanese are very angry because there is prices are rising.
Prices are
Actually,
rising, over tourism.
yeah, but the Japanese should have really liked this because their complaint was prices was not rising, and therefore jobs were the economy was not doing well. They were in long deflation and they needed this inflation. But this inflation means two things. Once the interest rates will begin to rise,
Yes.
and they don't like that.
No.
And they want more salary increases are coming, but the interest rates needs to climb. The interest rate, if it starts to climb, the yen will become less competitive. And so
Exports become more.
exports also will become difficult. So she has been arguing for a long time that there must be some inflation should be allowed in it, and the Bank of Japan should not aggressively increase interest rates. So when she came to power, the yen immediately dropped,
Yes.
and the yen dropped big, and because the yen dropped big,
The stock market.
the stock markets really jumped.
Yeah.
And then when that keto party refused to
Support.
support, there was some hope that
More centrist.
more centrist party will come to power, path to power.
Then strengthened again. Stock
They
market dipped again.
dropped again, and then what happened is she managed to get the far right party to go with her,
Yeah. Negotiated.
negotiated, and there are some independent lawmakers. But you have to take all this with a big pinch of salt because
Yes.
Japan has a 1 year love affair with any prime minister. The previous prime minister was not very popular, but he did a lot of right things. Especially, he handled Trump brilliantly.
Brilliant negotiation.
Yeah. Now, what she has done is she has got her big rivals in the LDP and offered one of them foreign ministry and the other the defense ministry. But it's a largely our economic policy that will be watched.
Yes. Especially what she decides to do with the yen and inflation.
Yeah. She has nothing to do with the yen.
Of
But she has
course.
already toned down her attack on the BOJ and said the BOJ is free to do what it wants. So I think there may be a short gap, but then the yen will start to rise again. Because it cannot happen when America cuts rates and Japan cannot cut rates. So inevitably the yen will get stronger in a
So
matter
then
of,
you're expecting the stock markets to
yeah, I think
taper off the
taper off a
excitement.
bit.
Yeah.
The excitement is over. I can be proved wrong and it can go 10% up further. But then I'm talking about 12 to 18 months down the line, the yen will get stronger and some of this excitement will
Come down.
come down. But
The initial euphoria.
initial euphoria. And but I'm very keenly watching what she would do
With immigration and US.
in immigration and US. I hope she becomes like the Italian Prime Minister Meloni, who started as a fascist. Right? She was a fascist, but
More centrist.
she has become very centrist. She's toned down her rhetoric on,
Yeah. They always say, no, once you get to the seat of power, you have to do what is required and not what you
yeah,
like.
she's like a proper conservative, and she's not toned down her attack on immigration. She's firmly behind Ukraine, and she is also very close to Trump. And so Italy is doing well
Yes.
to such an extent that in purchasing power parity, after 25 years, it's nosing ahead of Britain
Yes.
as an
And
economic
even
size.
the recent video which we did where we talked about her change of heart when it comes to
Yeah,
taxation on the ultra rich coming
the
in.
taxation on ultra rich, and also she is talking about allowing 5 lakh job visas for the low end.
Yes.
Now, Japan needs the same pragmatic prime ministership where she talks up consumption, she talks up salary rises. Japan needs to raise its workers' salaries. It needs to encourage Japanese to have more children, which of course she will do, but will also need to encourage immigrants
Correct.
and allow Japan to revive.
Okay, now let's pivot and let's talk about this is Japan, the Japanese economy. Everything what you said is true, but we are not investing in the Japanese economy and the Japanese country. We are picking these Marubenis, these Toyotas, these Hondas. What do you think the impact on these companies will be in the short term? Because, like you
In
said,
the short term, especially with the way Trump is behaving, I don't see any damage for the auto companies.
okay,
I don't see any damage for Sony, which I am a buyer. I don't see anything for Nintendo or any of the
major trading houses.
major trading houses. The major trading houses are more into Japan. I own all the major trading houses.
Yes,
They are more into Japan. But the other companies are more out of Japan also.
yes,
So I have balanced a bit of Japan and outside Japan also. But a very strong yen 18 months down the line could hurt the Japanese companies and give me another buying opportunity at
correct.
that
That's what I
time.
wanted to ask. So, if we are
For me, a
careful,
Toyota at 9 times earnings is still cheaper than any other automaker in the world.
as long as you're looking long,
No, no, but even today, for me, if Toyota corrects, Toyota is a long term bet because I think the Japanese will crack the electric market. Because we cannot do anything with the Chinese because we can never trust the Chinese. The Japanese are more an open society. This is where the maximum rate they will go.
correct,
And they will fall in line with the US.
correct, because the maximum they
They
can afford
maximum.
to go.
Yeah. But what I expect now is a big crash in America in the next 18 to 24 months.
Yeah, which we spoke about last week.
Anytime between 18 to 24 months.
Yeah,
It can happen tomorrow, it can happen on the 24th month.
correct.
But when it crashes, how Japan reacts is something which I would like to wait and watch.
So there you guys go. This is what's happened in Japan. This is what led to the Nikkei rising the way it did. The swelled, then it kind of calmed down. The swelling calmed down. The markets calmed down, which is why it calmed down. So Anand explained because of the policies she's been speaking about, and the markets are going to wait and watch. Like Anand said, this next 1 year, if the yen moves the way Anand says it moves, it will lead to some correction in the Japanese market. And the companies we're looking at, like Toyotas and the Hondas, are going to show up more opportunities to now and then dip into these stocks. The reason why we're looking at these stocks, Anand also very eloquently explained, is because we were expecting Toyota and the Hondas to be the flag carriers for the electrification of transportation, especially in the car segment, the four-wheeler, two-wheeler, even the three-wheeler segment is where we're going to see electrification, even AI and automation. All this is going to be led by these two companies and some other Japanese companies. Like what he said about China, it not being an open society, not being a democracy, plays a big role in all this. Yes, the Chinese may have a lot of things going for them, but the major drawback is communism and the totalitarian state and not being a rule of law like what Japan is. So anyway, that is some food to think about, some things to ponder about as we get into the rest of the week. Again, we wish you a happy Diwali from me and Anand here. Nothing else more to say and be rich. Then have a great evening. See you tomorrow with another one. Thank you.